Welcome back to Upgrade Your Worth. Today we're going to be pulling back the curtain on something most of us take for granted every day.
How money actually circulates in the U.S. economy. And why recirculating your dollars and even spare change plays a bigger role than you might think.
What do we mean by money circulation?
Simply put, it's the movement of money from one person, business, or bank to another. Every time you spend a dollar, that money doesn't disappear. It keeps moving throughout the economy.
For example, when you go buy a coffee, that dollar goes to the cafe, then the cafe uses it to pay for the employees, their supplies, and even to cover the rent of the leasing space. So the landlord will use that money to make repairs or pay the mortgage and so on and so forth.
Your dollar might change hands dozens of times in a single year. That's money circulation.
Let's talk about the role of the Federal Reserve and the banks. Now, this is the bigger part of the system. So in the US, the Federal Reserve, our central bank, it oversees the money supply.
Banks play a huge role. When you deposit money in the bank, they don't just keep it in a vault. They lend it out to businesses and individuals who spend it and recirculate it. If I'm not mistaken, for every dollar that you put in a deposit, they loan out $20.
That creates what we call the multiplier effect. It's a single deposit. It doesn't just sit idle when it's at the bank. It gets loaned out, it gets spent, it gets redeposited, and then it gets loaned again. And that's how money multiplies and it keeps the economy thriving.
When money flows smoothly, businesses thrive, workers get paid, and consumers have confidence to spend.
But if the money slows down, people stop spending out of fear, then the circulation drops. And that can lead to a weaker economy, layoffs, and even a recession.
So for example, let's say if there's people spending less at the local movie theater, if there's less people spending money at, let's say JCPenney, if there's less people spending money to, let's say, build new homes. Those are the type of industries that can get those type of situations can lead to people getting fired, businesses not wanting to hire new employees. It creates a really scary environment for businesses to where they feel they won't get a good return on their investment, and then people that are consumers don't want to spend money. So circulation isn't just about money changing hands, it's about keeping the heartbeat of the economy strong and steady.
Now let's talk about something you might not think about much. Coins.
So during the pandemic, the US actually experienced a coin circulation shortage. Not because there weren't enough coins, but because coins were sitting in people's drawers, cars, and piggy banks instead of circulating through the stores and the banks.
When coins don't recirculate, businesses struggle to make change, literally. That slows down transactions, creates inefficiencies, and it actually hurts small business the most.
That's why recirculating your change is so important. Every quarter, dime, and penny you put back into the system keeps everyday commerce flowing smoothly.
Let's imagine the journey of a single dollar bill.
You earn it at your job and spend it on groceries. The store owner uses it to pay their supplier. The supplier pays a truck driver, the truck driver spends it at a restaurant.
And that same dollar could support multiple families and businesses within just a few days.
On average, a dollar bill stays in circulation for about 6 years before it wears out and gets replaced. Coins last even longer, decades. That's why getting them back into circulation matters.
During times of crisis, people tend to hoard a lot of cash.
That means fewer dollars and coins are moving between businesses and consumers. The slowdown creates ripple effects. Store sells less, workers might lose hours, and growth stalls.
And then the Federal Reserve and Treasury sometimes have to step in by printing more money, lowering interest rates, or encouraging spending just to keep circulation healthy.
What can you do to help money keep moving?
Well, first, be mindful of recirculating your coins. Take that jar of change and deposit it in a bank or a high yield savings account or a coin machine, or spend it at a local business.
now that you mentioned coin machine, at your local grocery store, start looking where you can exchange your coins, and they'll give you a couple of options. Either you can receive it in cash, or you can receive it in Bitcoin or Ethereum, and that's extremely important. So again, you finding coins in your car, at home, in your pocket, and even when you get your burger and you crunch it up in your receipt, keep those coins, save it up for a year, and get into a system to where that you're saving it for at least about a year to 2 years to 3 years, and you could walk away with a substantial investment in crypto by just putting your coins in a crypto.
Just to add extra onto that, Warren Buffett is a billionaire, and even he is not ashamed to pick up a penny off the ground. And he says it's because he understands that that penny can start a new empire. Make sure you're keeping that change. Keep your money active. So instead of letting large sums of money sit in cash or leaving change loose, put it into a high yield savings account, put it in an investment, or even a lending platform so it continues fueling growth.
At the end of the day, money is like blood in the body. It has to keep flowing to keep the economy alive.
And that goes from the dollars in your wallet to the spare change in your cup holder. Circulation is what makes the system work.
And for example, one of the biggest economies in the world is America. If America didn't keep money running through the economy, it would fall apart. So don't underestimate the power of recirculating your change. It may seem small, but together it keeps businesses running, communities thriving, and governments thriving.
We want to thank you guys for tuning in to Upgrade Your Worth. If you found this video eye-opening, please hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share it with someone who still has a jar of quarters just sitting in their closet.
Yes, we're talking to you. Go cash in those coins and help the economy out.
We'll see you in the next video.